Ted is at a critical juncture in his life, as his marriage to Nicole is on the brink of collapse. Although they had some happy moments together, their separation has now become inevitable. The breakdown of their marriage is not only emotionally painful, but also a fierce legal battle that Ted cannot avoid. Child custody, joint assets, and the secrets of their lives are now important pieces on the chessboard of this divorce. When Ted seeks legal assistance, Bill, his close friend and talented lawyer, is the first person he thinks of. Bill is not only capable of helping Ted with complicated legal issues, but is also willing to take on the tough battles that Ted does not dare to face alone. However, Ted is not someone who is easily drawn into long and tiring legal battles. He always tries to resolve things peacefully, but when he is faced with the prospect of losing custody of his children, he begins to realize that if he does not fight hard, he will lose the most precious things in life. Bill, with his tough and uncompromising approach, proposes legal tactics that are not afraid of conflict. He suggests that Ted pursue a tough fight to gain custody of his children, not accepting any concessions. Bill knows that in a divorce like this, everything can be changed by a wrong decision, and he wants to make sure that Ted wins, no matter how much effort and time it takes. However, Ted cannot forget the reasons he and Nicole got married in the first place, as well as the love he has for his children. He does not want this fight to hurt the people he loves more. While Ted is trying to resolve the problem with Nicole peacefully, another worry begins to intrude on his life. Leslie, Ted's ex-lover, was not only a troublemaker, but also a persistent obsession in his life. Even though the relationship had ended, Leslie would not let go. She constantly harassed Ted and would not leave him alone. Leslie knew Ted's weaknesses and constantly used them to make his life more difficult. Ted could not stand this harassment anymore, and he began to think about asking for help from Bill. Bill, with his extensive connections and ability to manipulate situations to his advantage, did not hesitate when Ted asked him for help to solve the problem with Leslie. However, Bill knew that to deal with Leslie, he would need to use unfriendly methods. He would try to intimidate Leslie, creating situations that would force her to withdraw from Ted's life irreparably. Bill is known for his dark ways, and if necessary, he will use his connections with influential figures to silence Leslie. However, things will not be that simple. The truth about Leslie and her relationship with Ted's family will be exposed. Peter, Ted's longtime friend, has a secret that few people know. Leslie is not Barbara's biological child, but is adopted. This truth will be a powerful weapon in Ted's hands if he decides to use it. Peter, who has appeared early in the episodes, will testify that Leslie is an adopted child, and this will completely change the way people perceive her. If this truth is exposed, Leslie will lose all support from the community, and may be completely ostracized. Meanwhile, Leslie is not showing any weakness. Having received a huge inheritance from Barbara, Leslie now has a strong financial resource to protect herself. This makes her even more dangerous. Not only does she have the ability to use money to bribe, but she can also manipulate influential people to side with her. Ted's confrontation with Leslie is now not just a personal battle, but also a battle for recognition and status in the Dupree family. This could lead to difficult decisions, and Ted will have to choose between continuing to fight for the sake of his children or finding a way to reconcile so things don't get too far. The confrontation between Ted and Leslie may not stop here. If Ted decides to engage in the legal battle proposed by Bill, things will become extremely tense. Conspiracies, tricks, and hidden secrets will be exposed one by one, and the outcome of this battle will not only affect Ted's life, but also have a strong impact on the Dupree family. Will Ted be able to win this battle? Will Leslie continue to be a danger in his life? Everything will be decided in the next episodes, where truth and justice will have to face ambitions and concealments. Does Leslie intend to kill Peaches? Because she is both a dangerous figure who can give her hope of having everything, but also someone who can take away what she is about to achieve, because Peaches holds many secrets. When Danny and Naomi hear shocking news from Vernon and Anita about Leslie, everything in their lives begins to turn upside down. The news not only changes their relationship with Leslie, but also takes a terrible turn for the Dupree family. Leslie is no longer just a third wheel who ruined Nicole's family, but is now the unknown daughter of Barbara Mitchell, a late friend of the Dupree family. This opens up a whole new truth and challenges everything they have previously understood about her. Leslie may become a formidable opponent in the future, as she will receive a huge amount of money from the trust that the Dupree family left to Barbara. The news that Leslie is Barbara's daughter not only shocks Danny and Naomi, but also creates a potential clash between Leslie and the Dupree family. Barbara's trust fund, which only the legitimate heirs have access to, may now be in Leslie's hands. This truth is like a time bomb ready to explode in the Dupree family, threatening all relationships and alliances. If Leslie is really Barbara's daughter, she will not only have the right to inherit the property, but also take over the management of the Dupree family's estate. This change threatens to shake the foundation of the entire family, and Danny and Naomi are faced with an unbelievable truth. The competition between Leslie and the Dupree family will not stop at just inheriting the property, but will also lead to a power struggle between generations. Leslie, with her bottomless greed and desire to seize power from the family, will not stop at simply demanding what is rightfully hers. She will use every trick, from buying a mansion in the residential area where the Dupree family lives to strengthening her relationships with other powerful people in the community, to create a formidable presence. Leslie's plan to buy the mansion is not only a strategic move to assert her power, but also a public declaration of war against the Dupree family, especially Anita. Anita, who has devoted her life to building the Dupree empire, will not easily accept Leslie's appearance in the family's life. She is not only the mother of Danny and Naomi but also the person who has maintained the stability of the family for many years. Leslie's appearance threatens not only the property but also Anita's honor and power in the family. The struggle between these two women will certainly not be simple. Anita, with her intelligence and wisdom, will not let Leslie easily take over everything she has built. She will find ways to disrupt Leslie's plans, using her long-standing relationships and sophisticated tricks she has accumulated over the years to protect her family and assets. However, Leslie is not an easy opponent to defeat. She may not fully understand the dangers of the game she has just entered, but she will certainly not back down from any challenge. Knowing that Anita will not back down, Leslie will become more assertive, willing to take risky and ruthless steps to gain power. The battle between Leslie and Anita could last for months, even years, and will be a tense clash between two strong women, each with their own reasons to fight to the end. Leslie's every move will create reactions from Anita, and vice versa. Family secrets, confrontations at parties, important financial decisions, all will become tools in this uncompromising power struggle. Although Leslie has inherited from Barbara, she cannot easily grasp the control of the Dupree estate without the support of her family and community. Therefore, she will find ways to manipulate other parties, using financial strength and personal relationships to overwhelm Anita. This confrontation is not only about money and power, but also a battle to prove dominance in the family. Neither Leslie nor Anita is willing to give in, and so, the battle between them will go much further than anyone can imagine. Conspiracies, betrayals, and tricks will be important factors that create drama in this story. If Leslie wins, the Dupree family will face an uncertain future, while if Anita holds on to power, the family will continue to maintain prosperity and stability. Ultimately, the outcome of this battle will determine not only Leslie's fate, but the fate of the entire Dupree family. The family will have to choose which side to stand on, and while Danny and Naomi try to come to a better understanding of the truth, they will also face difficult choices about loyalties and personal interests. The end of this battle will likely be a shock to everyone, as old alliances are broken and family ties are tested to the core. The official launch party for Chelsea and Catherine Cat Richardson's handbag brand takes place on August 22nd in Beyond the Gates, and is expected to be a spectacular event. Everything seems to be going smoothly as Chelsea and Cat have a pleasant conversation, preparing for the event that both of them have been looking forward to for a long time. Chelsea's presence as the key player of this party is indispensable, and it seems that everything is carefully prepared to bring a successful night. However, like any dramatic plot in a long-running TV series, nothing is perfect. After an intimate conversation between Chelsea and Kat, a suspicious incident occurs that changes everything. Just when everyone thinks the party will be successful, Chelsea, the host of the event, suddenly disappears. As the guests are gathering in the bustling atmosphere of the festival, Chelsea does not show up on time as scheduled. According to the preview of Beyond the Gates, a man dressed in black will approach Chelsea from behind and suddenly cover her face with a cloth soaked in anesthesia. Chelsea, who is dressed for the party, is unable to react to this sudden attack. The swift and unseen move left her unconscious immediately. It seemed that the attack was carefully calculated and Chelsea became the victim of a vicious plot, with the man in black taking her down at the most crucial moment. With this situation, anxiety began to rise. Was Chelsea kidnapped right at her own important party? Did she have a chance to be saved in time before the attacker took her away? This question made everyone wonder and speculate about the possibilities that were happening behind the dark night. Longtime fans of Beyond the Gates could not help but suspect that Allison, Chelsea's ex-girlfriend, could be behind this attack. After all, Allison was the one who had been following Chelsea for a long time, and their relationship had long since been bad. Allison's past actions have given no indication that she could be a trusted friend, and their failed relationship could be the motive behind the revenge she's secretly carrying out. If Allison is indeed the attacker, she could be trying to take Chelsea down in a ruthless power play. However, as with any tense situation in a long-running TV series, when the truth is not revealed, theories can often spin in any direction. In this case, a plot twist could leave viewers stunned. It's possible that Allison wasn't the sole perpetrator behind the attack, and that Allison's abusive husband, Craig, was in on it all. Craig, with his violent nature and long-standing grudge against Chelsea, could very well have been the one who planned the attack out of revenge. The fact that Chelsea could be the target of Allison's abusive husband's revenge adds an element of danger to this story. As Chelsea prepares for the party and faces this unexpected attack, the story becomes more complicated and intriguing. Will anyone discover the truth before it's too late? Who will stand up to save Chelsea from the attackers? Or is this attack just the tip of a much deeper conspiracy, and will Chelsea face a battle for survival between scheming enemies? The truth about the perpetrator, motive, and outcome of the attack remains a mystery. The story will continue to escalate, and the audience will certainly not be able to take their eyes off the next episodes to find out who is really behind this conspiracy. The spoilers of Beyond the Gates have sparked a tense debate, as Chelsea's every move from now on could be an important milestone in solving the secrets that have not been revealed. The story of Barbara Mitchell's inheritance will certainly bring unpredictable shocks, not only to the Dupree family but also to those involved. Barbara's huge fortune is not only money but also deep secrets, difficult decisions that she made throughout her life. This will become an important factor leading to a power struggle full of tension and intrigue, when the heirs begin to fight and hide their dark motives. The first shock may be the appearance of a mysterious figure who suddenly claims to have inherited from Barbara. This figure may be someone no one has ever heard of, may be an illegitimate child that Barbara has hidden, or a relative that no one previously knew about. The appearance of this figure will put the Dupree family in a dangerous situation. Not only is it a battle for wealth, but it could also be a clash between family members, with secrets being exposed and dark forces slowly emerging. An even more surprising development could be that Barbara is not actually dead. This would be a completely unexpected twist, as people believed she had passed away long ago. Maybe Barbara faked her death to avoid some major danger, or maybe she chose to live in seclusion to avoid harassment from those who sought to seize her assets. When Barbara returns, it will not only be a resurrection of a character, but also a groundbreaking event, as she faces changes in the family, especially with Leslie, who has been holding on to her assets all this time. Barbara's appearance will make everyone face questions about loyalty, love for family, and the secrets she has kept hidden for so many years. The story becomes even more complicated when Peaches, whose relationship with Barbara was previously unknown, suddenly discovers that she is the deceased's sister. Peaches, who has lived a life of debauchery, debt, and gambling, is now faced with an unexpected opportunity. She will receive a large sum of money from her deceased sister's trust. This leaves her with a difficult choice: will she fight Leslie for the inheritance, or will she give it up for personal reasons? Peaches is not only worried about the money falling into Leslie's hands, but also about how she will use this money. Peaches, despite her unstable life and bad habits, knows that Barbara's fortune cannot be wasted on gambling and debauchery like her own. If Peaches decides to fight Leslie, the fight will not only be about money, but also about family values, honor, and what they can do to protect their late sister's legacy. This creates an unpredictable drama, as the two women, Peaches and Leslie, each have their own reasons for seizing Barbara's fortune, but they also face each other in a tense power struggle. While Leslie can use her financial clout and connections to push Peaches back, Peaches has her own advantages. She knows how the Dupree family operates, and can find ways to turn the tables if necessary. Peaches' machinations may expose Leslie to obstacles she doesn't expect, and the fight between them will not only be a fight over wealth, but also a confrontation about their natures, their beliefs, and what they are willing to do to achieve their goals. Peach's presence and her relationship with Barbara will change the Dupree family forever. Secrets about Barbara's past, dark motives, and difficult choices will gradually be revealed, creating unbearable tension in the struggle for inheritance. If the truth about Barbara, Peaches, and Leslie is exposed, life in the Dupree family will never be the same again. The shocks in this story will not only be about money but also about deeper truths about family, love, and betrayal.